Hey YouTube, I made a video a little while ago about the Garmin VIRB XE and the grade percentage problem that I had been having since day one with it, and Garmin had me send back just the camera, and I got back what appears to be a brand new camera. I thought I was going to get back a refurbished one of these, but I got back a boxed up camera. So I am really hoping this takes care of my grade issue, but if it doesn't, I'll probably just keep the camera and not put grade on the screen. Brand new cable, battery, mounts, awesome. So I will charge up the battery and go out for a bike ride and see if this performs any better than my original camera. I have the new Garmin VIRB XE ready to go, and we will see how well it goes. I'm going to power it on and get GPS signal before we go. Power on my 810 and we'll get a comparison. I did get a question for someone saying, how do you get this thing to run for a while? And what I do is I hook up the cable to a separate battery pack, and I'm not going to do that today, but I would just hook up the Garmin connector to a USB battery charger kind of thing that you would use for, normally like an iPhone or something to recharge it. That's how I get extra battery life out of this. I just pulled this off the charger and it's been charging for 2 days, so we will see how long this battery lasts, as well as whether the percent grade is accurate. Unfortunately, due to the snow, I can't ride in the woods. I'll be riding on pavement. But I'll record the whole ride and probably only publish a tiny bit of it. Except for all the snow on the ground. So what I did here was I recorded my entire ride, and the battery only lasted 1 hour and 4 minutes before it died. It was probably about 40 degrees for most of my ride, even though it says 63 right there. I think it was warming up from the house. Anyway, if you look at the bottom row, that is my Garmin VIRB, and the top is the Garmin Edge 810. And look at the graph to the far right. Let me see if I can zoom in on there. So look at the graph on the top. It's much, much smoother than the graph on the bottom. The bottom one is from the VIRB, and the upper one is from my Garmin 810. And I'm going to skip forward to the point where that takes a big dip and see what the percent grade is over there. So there we go, minus 58%, minus 54%. The Garmin VIRB is just bad, and I'm climbing a hill right here. See my grade up above? It says 7%. My bike computer says this is a 6.8% grade. 6.8. And for some reason the Garmin thinks I'm going down a very, very steep hill. That was what my VIRB was registering while I was riding. So I can't believe it. Anyway, so that's two VIRBs with the exact same problem, that the elevation is way, way off and the percent grade is way off. By the way, I did calibrate or pair up the speed and cadence sensor with the VIRB, but I have no RPMs registered there, and I suspect that's because after I did that, I went and upgraded the firmware on the VIRB, because the new VIRB that I received was not up to the latest version, and Garmin is always asking me if I'm up to the latest version, so I wanted to alleviate that situation where I'd have to try this twice. So I upgraded the VIRB to the latest version before going on this ride, and I think it lost the speed and cadence sensor by doing that. So that's pretty disappointing. I was hoping this new VIRB, replacement VIRB, would fix this problem, but it totally has not. So despite all my complaining about the VIRB, I do like having the data, even though the elevation and the grade are not very accurate. The camera does take good video. It has the best audio of any waterproof camera that I've tried. A GoPro in a non-waterproof case has good audio, but this is the only one in a waterproof case that doesn't sound terribly muffled. And it's a big improvement over the original VIRB Elite. However, The battery life on this is awful. I only got 1 hour and 4 minutes on this ride, and you can see the temperature is 41 degrees. I think I've gotten longer under warmer conditions, but only maybe an hour 10, hour 15. My old VIRB Elite used to get over 2.5 hours on a single battery, which was amazing. It really stinks that Garmin has put in such a crappy battery into this camera. You would think things would get better and better and better as they come out with new models, but the downgraded battery is not a good thing. So I do have a suggestion for Garmin. This is Strava. Let me find a ride where I have some elevation. Here's the elevation graph of the ride I did. I am going to hit this little button here and say correct elevation, and Strava will go out and recalculate this. I don't know how, but this is what I think the Garmin VIRB ought to do automatically, since the Garmin VIRB XE is so inaccurate. Or at least maybe make a menu option in the VIRB Edit software where it would let you recalculate the elevation. So let me hit refresh. And now I went down to 1357 instead of 1457. I lost 100 feet there. That kind of sucks, but I don't know about this. That got much less smooth. So I'm not sure why that is, but maybe that's not such a great idea. But if there was a possibility for you to correct and smooth out the elevation on the VIRB XE in the Garmin VIRB Edit software, I think that would be a good idea, since it's so inaccurate. Thanks for watching.